Haying and Grazing tool allows USDA staff to process emergency and non-emergency haying and grazing requests, approve and certify them, and access them easily for reports. This version has been designed to assist staff and reduce workloads when the landowner comes into the field office to make a request. In future versions, USDA may decide to make the entire process digital and allow landowners to submit requests, digitally sign and certify approved requests from their homes. In this version, there are 3 workflows that we can use. 1. Fill a new request, which allows the staff to fill out a new request with the landowner with the requisite maps. 2. View a producer's request, search for a particular producer's contracts and the status of current and past requests. And 3. View all in-progress or past requests. View a table with requests categorized under different statuses, allowing you to adjust status as is relevant. But for now, we'll start with the first workflow. We'll click Fill a New Request. The staff will then fill in the name of the landowner, his or her email, state, county, contract number, as well as whether it is an emergency or non-emergency request. So let us do that now. We'll fill in name and email here. And then you'll see once I do this that the tool will pull up a list of contract numbers associated with that name. And so we will select the contract that the landowner is looking for to request permission to hay or graze. So let's say, for instance, we're looking up a specific contract, and you can see here that pop-up menu of all the different contracts listed under that name. But say we're looking for this particular contract here. And so in this tutorial, we will show both of the workflows for emergency and non-emergency requests. But to start, let us click Emergency, and let's say we're looking at haying. And for here, you can see that you have option for both haying and grazing, and I will return here and we will do a request type for non-emergency grazing. But for now, let us select Next. And on this screen, we will see details, terms, and conditions outlined by USDA. We want to stress that this tool does not eliminate the need for in-office interaction, but it's meant to streamline and simplify the application process. So once we see this, we will select Next, and now we'll be taken to a screen where we're able to draw on our CRP field the area that we wish to hay or graze, in this case hay. So we'll click on the blue Draw an Area button, and you'll see several icons on the top right. Hand icons, which allow you to drag the map, a rectangle, and a pentagon icon that allows you to easily draw out particular areas on the map. For example, I'll click on this rectangular icon, then right-click on the area of the map here. Now I'll drag this to the other side of the field, and that indicates the full area where we wish to hay. I'll right-click again, and the area automatically snaps to the field edge boundaries, and you'll see that the drawn area is now complete. The right side of the screen now shows the total acres and percentage of the field. You're able to click the Edit button if you wish to redraw or delete. But if what you have drawn is correct, then we can scroll down and select Next at the bottom right side of the screen. And so we're now taken to a review request screen that is a summary of acres requested and payment reductions, if any. When satisfied, we'll click the blue Request button on the bottom right side of the screen. And now the request is complete. Now you'll see the form CRP 117, you'll see Exhibit 52 autofilled below, and as well as the maps of areas to be hayed. And all of these forms can be downloaded and printed for signatures. Now, let me show you how to submit a non-emergency grazing request. So we'll go back to Haying and Grazing with the first workflow, and again, we'll fill out the name of the producer, their email, state and county, and then on the contract numbers, again, it'll show all contracts listed under that name here, but let's say we're looking for a specific contract, and again, we're looking for this number here. We will select it, and now we are going to show a non-emergency request. So we'll select non-emergency and grazing. And now you'll see an additional question for specifying grazing type. And for this example, let us select grazing outside primary nesting season. And so we will select Next. And now there's a new screen that details terms and conditions outlined by USDA, as well as having to select the payment reduction option application. So for this example, let us select the third option here. The fiscal year annual rental payment scheduled to be made after October 1st will be reduced by the number of acres actually hayed or grazed times 25% of the CRP annual per acre payment rate. And so let us select that, and we'll fill in fiscal year 2025. Now we will select Next. And again, we're taken to the screen where we will draw the requested area on the contracted field, in this case where we wish to graze. So we'll select the Draw an Area button. I'll select the rectangle here as well and kind of do the same pattern as before. And so we are now looking at the drawn portion that we wish to graze. The right side of the screen again shows us the total acreage and percentage of the field of the area drawn. And when this is correct, we will now select Next. And so we're taken to the Review Request screen where we will interact with the Rental Payment Reduction Calculator. And here we'll input our rental rate. So let's say our annual rental rate is $55 per acre in this instance. And now we'll see the acre payment reduction as well as the new total. Please note that this rate is an estimation. The USDA office will ultimately determine this rate. When satisfied, click the blue Request button on the bottom right side of the screen. And again, you'll see the form CRP 117, Exhibit 48 autofilled, and the maps of the areas needed to be grazed. And again, this can be downloaded and printed for signatures. And so, in order to view the status of requests and further actions that need to be taken for a particular landowner, we'll go back to the main page of the Haying and Grazing tool and click on View a Producer's Request. So we'll do that now. We'll go to the second workflow of viewing a producer's request. And so we will choose the state and county that you want to view. So for example, we're looking at Colorado and Kit Carson here, as well as the name or email. So I will input my name here. We will select OK. And now it will take you to a table with the status of the request collated under the following columns. Draft. This displays the requests that were not completed for some reason and can be completed now. Requested displays the applications that were submitted or requested, and there are also columns for requests that have been approved, disapproved, certified, unauthorized, or expired. So let us follow through with the requested applications for Haying in the above workflow that we just completed. So we will select a column that we want to view, and again it'll display a table with that type of request, activity requested, contract number, requested date, update status, and actions. And so let's say now you may want to complete the approval process for a selected contract number. And so we will click on Update Status, and we have three choices to either approve, disapprove, or unauthorize. So let's say for this example, we're going to approve the request. So we'll click on Approve, and now we'll see a new screen with the date of approval, which you can edit and then either choose to edit the requested acres, assuming what was requested cannot be approved. This is where the FSA staff may need to talk to NRCS staff to look at the requested acreage and confirm that it complies with the conservation plan before approving that request. But once the request is approved, it goes into the approved column. So let's say everything looks good, we approve it, and now here you see it in the approved column. Now you can prepare and send the official notification with attachments to the landowner by the established protocols in the office. You could use the envelope icon here, and that would send an email of approval with attachments from the tool if you are authorized. Once the landowner has completed the requested operation of haying or grazing, they can send the filled out CRP 118 back to the office, or if they come into the office, the staff can work with them in filling it out and certifying the acreage that was hayed or grazed. If there was a difference between what was approved, then you can edit the approved acreage on the field and submit it. It'll show a warning that there is a difference in acreage between what was approved and what was completed, and it will show up in the certified column. Eventually, this will show an I button indicating the difference. Click on the I icon, and you can download or print the forms under any status category. And so now let us go back to the starting page, and we'll select the third workflow, viewing all requests. And so now you will see all the landowner submissions in your county here. Again, it takes you to a table with the status of the request collated under the following columns: draft, requested, and approved, disapproved, certified, unauthorized, or expired. And now from this requested tab, again, you'll easily be able to see type, activity, CRP participant, contract number, requested date, update status, and actions. Under actions, there are two icons, an I and a mail envelope. You'll be able to view the full application as well as all the necessary forms needed to submit for the process. And again, pressing the mailing envelope allows the user to email the producer directly. From this screen, USDA staff will be able to update the status of the contract. And so let us press the Select button under the Update Status column here. And here, one has the option to approve, disapprove, or unauthorize a contract like we saw on the last screen. Let's say we're looking at the disapproval option here. And a new pop-up screen appears that gives a number of options to choose, the reason for disapproval, as well as an option for Other with a box for written explanation. And finally, we'll show the Unauthorize option here, which then brings up a box for a written explanation on why this action was unauthorized. Thank you for viewing the USDA CRP haying and grazing tutorial.